This award was added to the roster this year. This award is not intended to be awarded every year, and it's my suspicion that it'll be some time before it's awarded ever again. This award is added to the roster because typically on nights like this, we culminate towards the main award for the night, being Horse of the Year, Trainer of the Year, Jockey and Apprentice of the Year. But you notice I say of the year. Also, we have awards like the Hall of Fame, which typically honour someone for a lifetime achievement and usually comes at the end of their career once that lifetime achievement is known. But occasionally, just occasionally, someone or a horse comes along in this industry whose achievements are so monumental, so magnificent, but that person is not done yet. And we instituted this award to recognise people or horses who, despite the fact that they're still in the midst of their strength, are still going strong, have represented Queensland to such a high level and to such a great extent that we felt it necessary to award them now, even though their career may not yet be done. To announce this year's RQ Gold Award winner, sponsored by 4X Gold, I'll ask Patrick Donoghue of Lion Nathan to do that for us.
Thanks, Kevin. What a great speech. Lion are absolutely delighted, the brewers and distributors of some fantastic brands like 4X Gold and Corona. Such an intrinsic link with racing in Queensland. It's an absolute pleasure to be representing the company and to see the success of the industry over the last 12 months. The winner of the RQ Gold Award goes to Peter Moody.
Racing Queensland has introduced the RQs Gold Award, sponsored by 4X Gold, to recognise the achievements of a Queenslander interstate and overseas.
I came here 13 years ago. I used to go to the track on a Saturday morning. I'd walk around the corner, I'd see Roy Dawson, I'd see Barry Miller, he'd tell me about Shower Hart, I'd see Dan Begore, he's here tonight, who hadn't trained a Group 1 winner, I'd see Kelly Schroeder, hadn't trained a Group 1 winner, Robbie Heathcote, who hadn't trained a Group 1 winner, and I'd see you. You hadn't trained a Group 1 winner then, either. Was it you think about all those guys, Group 1 winners.
It was that little bench just by Eagle Farm there near the coffee shop. There was a lot of knowledge on there. We were very fortunate, all us blokes kicking off, blokes like Roy and Tommy Dawson and different blokes there. Kelso, I always looked up as Kelso as one of the seniors, with all respect, Kelso.
Oh, you don't talk as bloody long as him tonight, Christ.
No, listen, it was a great part of my career kicking off there in Brisbane, and one thing I've always been very sure of my whole career is never to forget where I've started.
Pete, the question, Black Caviar. Look, yeah, we've heard every story. When is she back racing? That's what everyone wants to know.
Well, listen, I don't know. I don't know if she will get back racing. I'm hopeful. My dream would be for her to have an Eastern State sort of grand final tour next year, which would probably culminate with 1 or 2 runs in Melbourne, whether it be something like the Lightning or the William Reid, the TJ Smith in Sydney, and maybe finishing it off with the BDC Cup. You know, that'd be a dream for me, the 3 or 4 runs from the autumn into the early winter. But she's in work at the moment. She's in great shape. She's had 9 weeks off, longest break she's had since the last time she broke down about 2 years ago. It's the first time in about 4 years she hasn't had a set of shoes on. And she's actually enjoyed the cold and wet and miserable of Melbourne. She's been laying in the paddock just outside my bedroom window for about the last 6 weeks, rolling around the mud, wallowing like a pig, and have the time of her life. So
I bet you keep a close eye on her.
I did, and she's done nearly as well as you.
It'll be a long time before you get her back into work then.
So, no, she's back in work. She's doing, my plan was to give her a month's work in September, just to check her attitude, and if I'm happy with that, I then plan to spell her for October and then kick off 1st of November, be ready to race in February.
Have you noticed any change in her?
But her size, no.
She's female. Is there any change at all there?
No.
No, I just mean she must be a mum or something. She'll be a mum or...
No, well, I haven't seen that. That's why I'm doing this month's work. If I see that in the next 21 days, she'll find a boyfriend in the middle of the night. So
I hope it's not bloody you. Now listen, let's cut through the red tape. Ascot, let's be fair, Diggum. How were you the last 200 metres in Ascot? Tell me.
I was probably just as worried the first 200 because I knew in my own heart that she had to be every bit as good as I hoped and dreamed to win the race. She was totally out on her feet. We played the positive card the whole way through, and I didn't want to say, you know, listen, the horse is rooted stuff, but I'm going to run her anyhow, so I had to escape if she got beat. I wanted to back my judgment and her ability, more so her ability to carry us through. There was nothing wrong with her. She had wear and tear like she'd always had, but she was just totally out on her feet. She was totally stuffed. I gave her a little sprint up on the Tuesday morning. She worked good and solid like she always did. I thought I might have had her. Saturday morning, you know, I thought we were in a bit of trouble. I actually went as far as to ring my wife on the Friday night and said, I'm going to scratch this horse. What do you think?
There was a rumble going around. You must have said something to someone that you might scratch the horse.
No, well, I only spoke to my wife, and she doesn't talk, I know that. So she said, I rang her up and asked her for some advice. She said, well, you've got it right 21 times in a row. Don't blame me if you root it up now. You make your own mind up.
Now, you legged Nolan up before the race. What did you say to him when he got up?
Look after her. As I've said every time she's gone to the post, she's a horse that's carried a lot of injury throughout her career. The last time she went to the races sound was when she had a second start in a race. And that's been the instructions every time she's gone to the races.
What makes her such a freak? What is it?
Well, I think it's plain and simple. It comes down to length of stride. She goes slower than most horses. You watch the races, she's moving slower. She's just got an unbelievable length of stride and an unbelievable capacity to... She's got a great pain threshold. She's like all champion sports people, whether they be animal or human. They push through the pain barrier. You know, they don't have 2 or 3 weeks off with osteopubeitis or some bloody thing that some bastard's dreamt up. She pushes through the barrier, and she carries that. And she's, you know, our industry's been fortunate that she's been able to do it because, you know, she's just an unbelievable animal. She's had more ailments than you could think of.
Currently in Victoria, there's plenty of controversy about Danny Nickling. I'm not going to go into that, but she was the one that put racing on the front page for the right reasons.
She did, and not only in Australia, worldwide. You know, that's what we need. She's been tremendous in my time in racing, 2.5, 3 decades. We've, you know, there might have been better horses, there might have been better, you know, races run than she's won in, but no one has revitalised our sport in my time anyhow. And there'd be people here better versed in the room than I. To go back further, you know, she's put bums on seats. We saw what she did here at Doomben. You know, that was an unbelievable field. She did that at Randwick. She did it twice in Adelaide. Victorians probably take her a little bit for granted because she's there on their doorstep all the time. I've never seen such an adoring racing public as the English. You know, I'm the greatest pommy, bash and bugger you've ever seen, but you've never seen people so appreciative when we went over there, how grateful they were. Royal Ascot was run in the middle of the European Cup Soccer, which is the biggest sporting event of the year, and anyone that's been over there, you know how big soccer is. This horse was sharing the front and back page with the English soccer team. That's unheard of, a horse from the other side of the world. British horse racing had never had this publicity. Ask any bugger in England about Frankel, they wouldn't know him, and I think he's the finest horse I've ever seen in my life. But ask him about Black Caviar, the man on the street would know, because this horse from the other side of the world, you know, reignited their racing to what she did for ours.
How did you got the media over there? I mean, I know when you were here, they were ringing in the middle of the night because there's different times of the day. That the English media are very parochial.
Yeah, they are, but they were on our side because they knew the only bastards that could beat us were the French, and if they hate anything more than the Aussies, it's the French. So, no, they take it to a whole new level, the media over there. It was the most trying time in my career, and like you got 12 daily newspapers in London, and I had a couple of mates there, a couple of boys with me, Mick Bryant and Brett Kavanagh, and, you know, we'd step out of the pub at 11 o'clock at night and there'd be a bloke there with a camera snapping shots of us, just, you know, they're just sweating on you doing something wrong, so instead of being in the Telegraph, you could be in the Truth.
Just saying that to Brett and Michael, two of your long-time associates and supporters, you obviously felt that was the right thing to do, take them with you.
Yeah, I needed a bit of support and a bit of backbone, and I was saddened that Sarah and the girls didn't join me, but we had a bit of a meeting at home about a month or 6 weeks. They were all coming, and they called me in and said, right, Dad, husband, we're not coming. We think it's going to be an absolute S-fight. We're going to sit at home with some friends and enjoy it from here. So you're going to have to find someone to take over. So I got on the phone and found a couple of mates because I knew I'd need someone there with me because I was expecting this. And, I really thought I was the biggest, toughest bastard you'd ever met, and I handled it no worries at all. But that last month leading into that Royal Ascot, I was a shrinking violet, I can tell you. I didn't lose much weight, but I tell you what, I was driving myself mad.
You made Australian Story, you made 60 Minutes with Liz Hayes. I mean, you're a superstar.
Yeah. She's
He fancies her a little bit, I can tell you.
Yeah, well, she's not hard to fancy, Liz. She's looking pretty all right. She's closer to 60 than 50. I think she was about number 3 on Singo's list of 8 or 9. So,
did you want to follow Singo in?
No, she's a lovely bird, and no, that was good. She was actually a pleasure to work with, Stephen.
Thank you, Peter. Just on today, let's get off Black Caviar and Liz Hayes. You must have been wrapped with Manigar's run today, heading towards the feature races.
He ran super. Just had a chat with our chief steward here in Queensland, suggesting that we probably should have won the Doomben Cup. Unluckily, I protested and got dismissed, kicked me out the door. No, he ran super. I think that form, that weight for age form, is going to hold up. He's en route for a Cox Plate. Just had a chat to John Hasler here. Congratulations on Shower Heart. John's a part owner in Manigar, and we're very pleased. Only 2 horses that have won the Craigley Stakes in the last 25 years have only won one other race, let alone another feature race. So that might have been the greatest half-inch we got beat by in our careers.
Apart from Manigar heading towards the Cox Plate and Cups, what can you tell the audience out here to follow on the early doubles?
Oh, no. Bookmakers drive big flash cars. Wait until the barrier draws out. I've got something in it.
Mate, we wish you all the best. We appreciate you coming out here tonight. I know you left Melbourne very late to get here, and it was a big effort to get here, so congratulations and good luck with Black Caviar.
Thanks, Steve.
Please thank Peter Moody, ladies and gentlemen.